Are you ready? Are you ready for the thrill of victory? Are you ready to taste victory? Are you ready to take your sports betting to a whole new level? Sit up, put your feet on the floor, because we have work to do. Welcome to the grind. Welcome to Cappers Nation, your weekly all things sports betting show. Tune in live every Thursday at 8 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Let us make you a more successful sports bettor.
Welcome to Cappers Nation, your weekly all things sports gambling show. I am your host, Kyle Johnson, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Welcome to the show, guys. Today is Thursday, the 13th of September. Welcome to the show. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you guys all live. How's everybody doing today? We've got a great show planned for everybody today. We've got a lot of great information to give away, some great free plays, some great leans, and a lot of money to be made. It is NFL Thursday. It's college football Thursday. It is Thursday night football tonight. All right, guys? We've got money to be made. We're already making money, and hopefully you guys are too. And if you're not, stay tuned, because this program will make you a more successful sports bettor. Hey, guys. Hey, Brian, welcome. Nathan, welcome. Rick, Hootie by Night, welcome to the show. Welcome to the program. We're going to let everybody get rolling here. Everybody start logging on. We just sent out a text message letting everybody know that we are live. So let's give everybody just a few minutes to log on, and we will get this show on the road. You guys make any money so far betting the games? Curious to hear what everybody's had so far. All right, let's get some people to log on, and then we will jump into this program. What's going on, Russ? Hey, Jay, welcome. Ish. Go Ravens, baby. Brian, did the Cubs pull it out? I seen the Nationals had like 3 back-to-back errors or something like that in the top of the ninth. What's going on, Nicholas? Little Dizzer, welcome, guys. We got a great show for everybody planned, so let's just let some more people log on, and then we're going to jump in. Everybody knows I'm usually always running 10 minutes late, but today we magically started it on time. I'm not sure how, because I've been running late all day long. Nice, Brian. Congratulations on that bet. All right, give it another minute or two, and then let some people log on, and then we'll get rolling. We got a lot of good stuff to give away. Who else bet some games today so far? Oh, I know what I need to do. We need to get this live on the website. Our first premium play was on the Diamondbacks. It ended up being a scratch, with Buchholz getting scratched literally minutes before the game. It's amazing why you take listed when you're making a bet on baseball. It would suck to lose a game that way, that's for sure. Absolutely, Brian. Hey, Bill, welcome to the show, buddy. Rick, sorry to hear about the Rockies under. All right, let's get rolling. We got 100 or so people, 100 people. Welcome to the show, guys. I am Kyle, your host. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, welcome to the All Things Sports Betting Show, where we're going to discuss the NFL, college football, Major League Baseball, and the Canadian Football League. And we're going to give you guys free plays, free leans, and a lot of great information that, if you pay attention, will make you a more successful sports bettor. So, let's dive right into it. This show is brought to you by the fine guys. That's the thing about live, is if you screw up, you screw up. There's no retakes in this one, let me tell you. This show is brought to you by the fine guys over at Cappers Direct, your nation's leading group of handicappers, industry experts, syndicates, and sharps alike. If you're tired of betting with people who don't actually bet the same games as you, come over to cappersdirect.com and start betting with the people that actually bet the same games they give you guys each and every single day. All right, guys. Today over at Cappers Direct, everybody knows you guys can find me at cappersdirect.com every single day, 7 days a week, which is too many if you ask me. We've had a very busy day. We started out with 3 premium plays today. The first one actually got scratched, believe it or not, due to the fact that when we're betting our premium plays in Major League Baseball, our games are always listed pitchers. Well, Buchholz for the Diamondbacks got scratched right before the start, so our bets ended up being scratched, which they ended up losing, so it's not a big deal, and no harm, no foul. We've got 2 more premium plays left for today, and I'm not sure how the games are going. I haven't really had a chance to check the scores of the games. Anybody have an update on the Boston College Wake Forest game? I think it was 21-21 and a half. Somebody texted me and said. Other than that, I haven't heard. And then we've got the total on the NFL game for system plays. We had 2 system plays, 3 premium plays, and some consensus plays. And one of those consensus plays we gave you guys in last night's video on the NFL game, and we're going to break that down right before we jump into everything, because you guys still have 12 minutes, so we're going to run through that one, and we're going to dive right in, and hopefully we make you guys some money on that free play. 28-24 Boston College, start of the 4th. Good deal. I like to see that. Appreciate it, guys. Need more volume. Is this better? Is that better for you guys? Let me know if that's better, or if what the deal is. We can see about altering the volume for you guys. All right, Ravens at the Bengals. Paul Brown Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio. That game starts in 12 minutes, guys. On the NFL Network, game 101 and 102 for betting purposes. Baltimore opened up as a 1-point favorite. Where it sits currently, what's going on, Julio? Welcome to the show. The total opened up at 43. As of about an hour ago, it was 43.5 as the last update. All right. Couple top team trends going on before we kick off this game. Baltimore is 12-2-1 against the spread. Their last 15 games on the road against opportunistic offenses, averaging less than 13.5 yards per game. Cincinnati is just 2-8 against the spread their last 10 games against decent scoring teams, averaging 24 points per game or more. Cincinnati is also 7-0 on the under the last 7 games at home with less than 6 days of rest. Let's see here. Is the volume still really low? Let's see if we can get the volume to come up a little for you guys. Here, I'll move the microphone a little closer. Hold on. We don't want low volume. Is that any better for everybody, hopefully? Hopefully that is better. Russ and the guys, is that any better, hopefully? All right. Baltimore is coming off a murdering win over the Buffalo Bills, winning 47-3 last week. Sorry, reading comments. Hopefully it's better. Oh, hold on, let me see this. All right, there we go. Cincinnati took advantage of mistakes by Andrew Luck and the Colts last week. One team has a better defense, and that is the Ravens. All right, guys. However, both quarterbacks are yet to really be tested after week 1. Joe Flacco had a good game. He picked apart the Buffalo Bills. Andy Dalton was able to find a nice little groove in the second half against the Colts. Whoever controls the turnovers will win the game. Sorry, I like reading the comments so I could be interactive. Basically, what I'm saying is whoever leads the turnovers is going to control the game. And I do believe not only do the Ravens have the better defense here, but they should be able to control the turnover game. And if they control the turnover game, our free play, which was on the Ravens -1, should win. We hope. For everybody that didn't tune into our free play video yesterday, we did give out the Ravens -1 as a free play. All right, guys, so if you haven't bet the Ravens yet, you guys can go ahead and do so. You have 8 minutes left. Is the volume any better, or do I need to turn it up on the scale? All right, over at Cappers Direct, guys, we've got a couple specials going on. And first, before we dive into the program in full detail, I'd like to get you guys those specials and tell you guys about them. That way, if you're on the fence, you can take advantage of it. I think I have an idea on why the volume was low. When we pan to that second camera, the close-up camera, it's not wired into the mic. They need to wire it into the mic. It's hooked up wirelessly. It needs to be hooked up into this little box. So we'll get that squared away for the next show, either on Saturday morning or next Thursday when we come back into the studio and film. Over at Cappers Direct, guys, we've got a couple specials going on. But, Randy, the volume was better on the close-up camera. All right, over at Cappers Direct, going to run through some specials real quick once we get this business out of the way, because Cappers Direct is the main headlining sponsor of the show, and they keep the lights on. So we're going to tell you guys about the specials real quick, and then we're going to dive right into it and get you guys more free plays, more leans, and make you a more successful sports bettor. All right, guys? If you've never been with us before, if you've never bet our premium plays or our system plays, our premium plays are the biggest games that we offer, our best bets, the same games that I move serious money on. I move anywhere between $10,000 and $20,000 on our premium games. All right, guys? Our system plays, they're a system-style bet. They're not a series bet. They're based off of a series. However, they're not a series bet. There's a lot of misconceptions. All right? However, you can make a lot of money betting the system plays if you know how to bet them properly and you understand how they work and you have the right information. You will be successful. Our system plays are 66-3. However, we've got 2 of them that are going today that are going to put money in everybody's pocket. All right, guys? The system plays put a lot of money in everybody's pocket. All right, see if that volume, hopefully this volume helps you guys a little bit. Although I don't like you guys zoomed in on my face so much, but whatever. Maybe they can blur out it on the screen. But if you've never bet, back to our system plays, our premium plays. If you guys have never bet our system plays or our premium plays, this special is for you. This is a new client special for anybody who has never tried out either our system plays or our premium plays. All right, guys? What it is you get 1 week, 7 full days of our system plays, 7 full days of our premium plays for $299. It's normally $1,000 a week for our premium plays, $600 a week for our system plays. It's $1,600, but you get it for just $299 for the 7 days. All right, guys? You get it for $299 for the 7 days. And, sorry, reading the comments. Jay, there's actually a few people in here. I'm not going to name them, but there's a few people that I've already seen post that are members of our System Plays and do get our System Plays daily. And if they want to chime in, they can chime in. If they don't, they don't. Julio just signed up today. He's on them. He knows what they are today. And he's on his way to making money. He's got a full, detailed, accurate record of all 66-3 of our System Plays that we've put out. Everybody that's on our System Plays has access to that. And if and we do have a special for anybody who's been with us, you've been betting our System Plays or our premium plays before. We do have a special. It's on the website where you can get the System Plays at a 50% discount, or our premium plays at a 60% discount. You can get the premium plays for a week for $3.99 if you've already been with us before. But anyways, let's jump right into the program, because we got some great money to be made. So I know a lot of guys don't like to post that they've got the plays, or they buy the plays, because they're going to get hounded by the trolls that are watching the show. It's just what happens, guys. If somebody posts that they're a premium play client, or they paid us for a month or the season or whatever it may be, you'd be surprised how many people try and contact them that are YouTube trolls and Twitter trolls, just trying to make a quick buck. All right. Now, jumping into the program. Hopefully everybody's having a good day and making some money. We do have a premium play on the Boston College game, so if you guys want to keep updating me on the score, or when the NFL game starts, if you guys want to update me on the score, it would be greatly appreciated, because unfortunately in here, I can't see the scores. But if we go back to my office, I got them all up on the wall. The score ticker, TVs, you name it. All right, guys. Jumping right into the Canadian Football League, guys. We've got Canadian Football League on 2 days this week, Friday and Saturday. There's 3 games today. 1 game tomorrow on the 14th of September, Friday, 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 here in Vegas. The 4-6 BC Lions face off against the 3-8 Montreal. The Lions got the BC Lions -3, favored by 3 points, with a total over and under 48.5. And I do have a free Canadian Football League play for you guys coming up at the end of the Canadian Football League segment. All right, guys? The way it's going to go is we're going to go Canadian Football League, Major League Baseball, college football, and then back to the NFL. All right, guys? And then we'll have our Real Talk segment and whatever else we may do. Now, after Friday, on Saturday, we've got 2 Canadian Football League games. All right? Starting at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 here on the West Coast. The 9-2 Calgary team face off against 6-5 Hamilton. All right, Lions got Calgary favored by 1 point, with a total over and under 51. And then later in the evening, on Saturday evening, while college football is going on and everybody's paying attention to that, we've got the 6-5 Ottawa facing off against the 7-4 Saskatchewan. All right, guys, the Lions, Saskatchewan is favored, laying 5 points against Ottawa, with a total over and under over and under 50 points. And your free play, I'm not going to dive much into Canadian Football League, but because we've got a shoot ton, I'm going to try and not curse here just because we have so many people on, but we have a ton of information to go through when it comes to college football and the NFL, as well as Major League Baseball. Your free play on Saturday between Calgary and Hamilton. All right, guys? Take Calgary, lay the 1 point. Calgary -1. You guys all get that, hopefully? All right, guys. If you've got a company and you're looking to get yourself noticed, maybe you're another sports service, maybe you're an offshore casino, maybe you're a marijuana company, alcohol company, whatever it may be, if you want to get major exposure, then send us an email to cd@cappersdirect.com. We've got big advertising opportunities available. We're not just limiting ourselves and our show just to one sports service. All right, if you're a handicapper and you want to get featured on the program, just give us a call or shoot us an email. All right, guys. And also, make sure you check out 100unitpicks.com, home of the weekly 100-unit pick. You get one game a week, but it's a winner, and they fully guarantee it by their 100% money-back guarantee. Check them out on their website today at 100unitpicks.com. Their next scheduled 100-unit play is this Sunday, guys. All right, so you don't want to miss it. What's going on, Derek? Chris, welcome to the show. Goose, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. I wish you luck. All right, let's jump right into Major League Baseball, and let's get that out of the way. All right, guys, who's hot, who's not, who should you be betting on, and who should you not be betting on? All right, and our favorite, who should you be fading? We're about to give you guys some great, valuable insight and a few tips today that should make you a more successful sports bettor. If you tuned into last week's show, sorry, I read the comments. If you tuned in to last week's show, you were in luck yet again. Assuming you took our advice, if you did, you made yourself another great deal of coin this last week, just by watching Cappers Nation live. All right, guys, last week, we gave you guys our fade list, and those teams went 17 wins and 25 losses. They did a little better than we were expecting. However, 8 net units minus the juice, we'll take it. We gave out the fade list. Hey, Chris, you're welcome, buddy. Welcome anytime. Daniel just asked, how the hell do you expect to compete with the weight game and the NFL? Well, I think we're doing okay so far. I don't expect a huge turnout with the NFL game, but it is the Ravens and the Bengals and Wake Forest on TV. So you get better controversy here with me than you do watching the NFL on Thursday Night Football. And not everybody's got the NFL Network. All right. Last week, we gave you guys the great advice to fade the Orioles. If you faded the Orioles, they went 0-5, putting 5 wins in our pocket. We also said to fade the Royals. They went 3-3. Unfortunately, we lose a little bit of juice there. We also said to fade the Padres. They went 4-2, and we lost some there. We said to fade the Tigers. They went 2-4. No, Daniel, you don't see any smoke. Long day, though, so I might be a little slow. All right? We said to fade the Marlins. They went 1-3, putting more money in our pocket. We said to fade the Pirates. Unfortunately, they went 3-2, and we lost a little bit of cheese there. All right? We also said to fade the Mariners. They went 1-4, putting more money in our pockets. And we said to fade the Mets, who magically went 3-2. And I believe they're 7-3 in their last 10 games now. Overall, we went 17-20, overall we went 25-17. The teams we told you to fade had 17 wins and 25 losses, putting money in our pocket and hopefully yours too. In the last 5 weeks, our to fade list for the good, our winning record is 126-66 on the teams we've instructed you to fade. So if, over the last 5 weeks, if you're taking our advice on teams just to fade, you made a shit ton of money. And congratulations. Now, guys, if you are watching this show on a platform other than YouTube, please do come over to YouTube. All right? Go to youtube.com. In the search, type in Cappers Nation Live. The video feed will pop right up. If you come over to YouTube, you can participate in the interactive chat. Okay? If you're watching this on our website, live stream Venmo, this is being aired on Twitter and Periscope and about, I think, 13 other websites tonight. If you're watching this on one of the other websites, you absolutely cannot participate in the live chat. And you also cannot subscribe to our YouTube channel and get those instant notifications every single time we post a free play. And you can also not give us a thumbs up, letting us know that you appreciate the live show and everything that we do to bring you guys free winners 7 days a week, 365 days a year, including 3 live shows now. Speaking of the thumbs up, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, please do give us a thumbs up, give us a like in the video, let us know you greatly appreciate it. Wow, it is a rough crowd tonight with Daniel saying that he likes the new angle because it shows you guys close up what ugly really looks like. Can you say, ouch? Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, buddy. I really do appreciate it. All right, guys. Now we're going to run over some playoff contenders. Who's in contention? Who's not? And some more information. And our to fade list. I know some of you are out there waiting for our fade list, and you guys write it down and you follow it. And you guys enjoyed that 126 to 66 or whatever it was. And that's the reason why we do it. Now, the American League East. Boston is in first place as of today with a 100 wins and 46 loss record. The Yankees sit 10 games back. However, they are in a wild card spot. The AL Central has the Cleveland Indians leading in first 82 to 64, with the Twins sitting 14.5 games back in the Central Division. The AL West has the Houston Astros leading in first place with a record of 92 to 54. The Oakland A's sit 3 games back. However, they are they're in the last wild card spot with an 8.5 game lead over the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, the NL East. The Braves have pulled away in the NL East. Atlanta is in first with a record of 82 wins and 64 losses. Philadelphia sits 7.5 games back, with the Nationals 8 games back. In the NL Central, the Cubs are in first with a record of 84 and 61. The Brewers sit 1 game back. And the Cardinals sit 3.5 games back. And in the ever-challenging National League West, the Rockies are in first with a record of 81 and 65. The Dodgers are now 1.5 games back. 2.5 games back before tonight. And Arizona sits 4.5 games back. Now, taking up playoff spots and wild card spots if the season was to end right now. In the American League playoff race, Boston, Houston, and Cleveland are in. The Yankees are in a wild card spot with a 1-game lead over Oakland for that last wild card spot. Sitting 8.5 games back behind Oakland is the Tampa Bay Rays, who probably are not going to get in. And even farther back at 9.5 games back is the Seattle Mariners, the slumping Mariners. And leading the NL playoff race, the National League playoff race, leading the charge is the Chicago Cubs, if the season was to end today, followed by the Atlanta Braves, and then the surging Colorado Rockies. Daniel, I will get to that question here in just a second. Filling a wild card spot is the Milwaukee Brewers and the St. Louis Cardinals. Dodgers sit 2 games back. Arizona's 4 games back from them. The Phillies are 6.5 games back, and the Nationals are 7 games back. Arizona has the Diamondbacks have a tough schedule if they think they're going to make a wild card spot, let alone a playoff spot. They just got murdered by the Rockies again. Then they head off to Houston tomorrow to play the Astros for a 3-game series. Then they come home and face the Cubs for 3 games. Then they got the Rockies at home again for 3 games. Then they got the Dodgers in Arizona. Then they go on the road to face the spoiling Padres. I feel sorry for the Diamondbacks. Their playoff hopes are all but just about done, unless they magically turn things around. But the way we're watching them play this last week and a half, 2 weeks, I don't expect to see it happen anymore. Now, Daniel just asked, since he didn't hold his NFL question until the NFL segment, he just asked, who's my favorite NFL team? And as the same thing that Chris just pointed out, my favorite NFL team is anybody we're betting on. But I know Daniel's a huge Tennessee fan and alum. And one of my favorite college football teams is anybody playing Tennessee now. So, whoever's playing Tennessee, we're rooting for you. All right. Now, who's ready for our fade list? I know there's somebody out there who normally is going to write it down and post it in the comments. Yes, Daniel, it is a low blow. My favorite team is anybody who's playing Tennessee. Any update on that NFL game? All right, who's ready for the to fade list? It's a longer one this week. We got a lot of teams to fade. All right. Let's get the fade list going. Thank you, Hootie by Night, for the NFL score update of 0-0. On the fade list this week, not surprising, the Baltimore Orioles. They will remain there for the rest of the season. The Kansas City Royals are back. The San Diego Padres are back. The Detroit Tigers are back. The Miami Fish are back. The Marlins are back. The Pirates are back on the fade list. The Mets. The slumping Mariners. And whoever typed up my notes put the Mets twice. So fade the Mets, all right, guys? Cincinnati 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 6. That's a big change. That is a big change. All right, guys. We do have a free Major League Baseball game for you guys for tonight. If you guys want a free play tonight. If you guys want a free play, make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, guys. Let me know you do appreciate the hard work and the free winner we're about to give you guys. I love it. We give away free plays, run a live program. We got 2 dislikes. I love it. All right, I'm just updating the lines, checking everything out, and seeing what is going on. Okay, everything is the same. All right, free play, Major League Baseball. 10:07 on the East Coast. Rough crowd tonight. Robbie, we're going to be breaking down that game as well as a bunch of stuff in college football here very, very shortly. So if I forget on that one, which I believe it's in my program here today, just remind me. We'll break down that game for you. Free play, 10:07 p.m. on the East Coast, 7:07 on the West Coast. Seattle Mariners against the Los Angeles Angels. Hootie just gave out a free play, but unfortunately for him, we're on the opposite side of that. We're on the over of the Seattle and Angels game tonight. Over 9. Interesting crowd we got tonight. I like it. I like it. All right, guys. Next up, we are going to jump into college football. That is going to be your next segment. And we got some great information in college football. But first, this show is brought to you by rcpicks.com. Mr. Robert Connie Jr. has been bringing you winning sports picks and predictions for over 20 years with a fully detailed and 100 transparent record that is open for everybody to see on his website. Please check out Mr. Connie today at www.rcpicks.com. R for Robert, C for Conti, PICKS.com. Mr. Robert Connie Jr. has been in business for over 20 years. He's been on the internet with the same website, the same web address, and the same phone number since the late 90s. So make sure you guys give Mr. Robert Connie Jr. some love. If you guys go over to his website, if you guys sign up, please do let him know that you came from the Cappers Nation show. It would be greatly appreciated. And watch this quick little video. It only lasts about 30 seconds. All right, guys, college football, week 3 is here. Not only do we have a free play for you guys coming right up, but first, we got some stuff to discuss in college football. And as Daniel wanted to say, we don't take unders, yet we've given out quite a few unders. We put out more consensus plays than we do premium plays. And we put out a lot of unders. But tonight, it's not. All right, guys, week 3 college football. The AP top 10 had a few little shakeups, a couple new additions. Alabama still sitting atop at first. They're heading on the road against Ole Miss. Alabama's laying 21 points. Clarence, you're always welcome, buddy. One thing that we're not going to see in the top 10 or the top 25 or the top 50 for probably many years is going to be Tennessee football. So I wouldn't expect to see them or hear about them in any news anytime soon. Sitting at number 2, no surprise, Clemson. They've got a very weak Georgia Southern at home, and they're laying 33 points. Sitting in 3rd in the AP top 10 is Georgia. They've got Middle Tennessee State at home, and they're laying 32.5 points. Then number 4, Ohio State heads to face off against TCU on the road. Ohio State is laying 12.5 on the road. And I do have to agree with Goose. The Angels over is a lock, if there's such thing as a lock. Number 5, Oklahoma at Iowa State. Oklahoma's laying 17.5 points on the road. Number 6, Wisconsin's got BYU at home. Wisconsin is laying 22 points this week. Number 7, Auburn has number 12, LSU at home. Auburn is laying 10 at home against LSU. Notre Dame's got Vanderbilt at home, and they're laying 13.5. Only 13.5 against Vanderbilt at home. Is that a trap? Stay tuned. Number 9, Stanford's got UC Davis. As of right now, there is no line on that game. And in 10th, in the AP Top 10, is Washington. They've got Utah. And they are traveling to Utah. Washington's laying 5 on the road against Utah. Key games to watch this week, guys, in my opinion. BYU and Wisconsin. My fellow Trojans facing off against Texas. That little battle has lost its thunder over the years, but it's still great to watch the Trojans mop up against the Longhorns. Ohio State and TCU. Another game I look forward to watching is Arizona State and San Diego State, as well as I already said Ohio State. Oklahoma and Iowa State is another one. Auburn, LSU, obviously. Goose, if you like that commercial, wait till the next one, buddy. The next one's even better from what I hear. Appreciate the score update, guys. Now, BetterX is back at it again. BetterX, which we've talked about for the last couple weeks, he is at it again. He hit a couple last week that we did not talk about, that did not make the live show, that came out late. He's got a confirmed $150,000 between 2 parlays and 1 huge straight bet. If you tune in to Cappers Nation Live on Saturday morning, I will give away the games that he bet. If you want to know what BetterX bet, tune in to Cappers Nation Live, where we break down everything about college football at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. It is bright and early here in Vegas, Saturday and Sunday mornings when we go live, but it's a lot of fun, and we put out some pretty damn good plays in the live shows. Free plays have been rough the last week in the pre-recorded videos, let me tell you. But the live shows have been rock solid with their free plays. We've been squeaking in premium plays for you guys free, and a lot of you guys didn't even notice it. We might have to switch our play on the Vanderbilt game just to make one viewer upset. All right, guys. College football. Who's ready for some free plays? And some breakdowns. And yes, Goose, wait till the next commercial. Wait till the next commercial. It's not as long, but it's better. All right, guys. College football tomorrow, Friday. Georgia State facing off against Memphis. Memphis, Tennessee, 7 p.m. Eastern time, guys. It will be broadcast on ESPN for betting purposes. Actually, I don't have the game number. They didn't put the game number on my sheet here. I'll get that for you guys. But line opened up at minus 23, favoring Memphis. That line has already skyrocketed to 28. Memphis is now laying 4 touchdowns, with a total over and under opening at 59.5. It is currently at 59 at MGM Grand, as well as all the station properties. They own about, I think, 9 or 10 casinos here. Thank you, Sports Better 609. Game 105 and 106, Georgia State and Memphis. The total is at 58.5 over at William Hill. That's where the best line in Vegas is currently. And then the Westgate's got a half a point higher than everybody at 60. Sorry, a point higher than everybody at 60 still. This is a first-time matchup between Georgia State and Memphis. There's no head-to-head trends. Both teams coming off a loss last week where Memphis was laying a touchdown and lost 22-21 to Navy and Annapolis. Georgia State lost 41-7 to North Carolina State. Even with the loss of quarterback Riley Ferguson and wideout Anthony Miller, the Tigers still have shown to be one of the AAC's better teams so far. All right, I know it's only 2 weeks in. Sorry, reading comments. Yes, thank you, Hootie by Night. Game 105 and 106. Memphis has by far more firepower when it comes to offense. All right, with Brady White passing for 5 touchdowns in the last 2 games, as well as Darrell Henderson. He rushed for 288 yards so far, 4 touchdowns on only 22 carries. A lot of big runs. All right, guys, a lot of big runs by Henderson, and I expect to see the exact same when it comes to Georgia State. Sorry, I get distracted by the comments. I get distracted real easy. Maybe I should turn to the other screen and I don't get distracted as much. There we go. I won't get distracted now, guys. All right. Couple top team trends. Georgia State is 17-4 against the spread in their last 21 games on the road against a decent rushing team averaging more than 4.4 yards per game. Memphis is 3-7 against the spread the last 10 games against fortunate teams with a turnover difference where it's better than a third of a turnover or more. All right, guys, per game. Georgia State is 8-1-1 on the under in their last 10 games on the road after a conference straight-up loss. So when they've had a straight-up conference game where they've lost, their next games have gone under 8 out of the last 10 times with 1 push. So they're 8-1-1 on the under. If I had to give you guys a lean on this game, I would lay the 4 touchdowns against Memphis. All right. If I had to, I would lay the 4 points against Memphis. Absolutely. Bill, haven't given out any free plays in college football yet, but it's coming. Thank you, Jared. I like it. I'm not sure exactly where it's going to be on our card for tomorrow, but I know that line's moving. It's moved a lot. It is a lot of points. But with the right team, 28, 4 touchdowns in college football is not a lot. Sorry, I was guilty of checking score updates because people don't want to give me the score updates. All right. Next one on Saturday. We only got 1 game tomorrow. So let's move right along into Saturday. But we are giving out leans, Bill. We're giving out leans right now. We just gave out a nice little lean on Memphis minus 28 for tomorrow. We'll see where that ends up on the card. It may be a free play, maybe a free consensus play, maybe a consensus play, or maybe a premium play. Saturday, Miami versus Toledo. 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 in the morning here. Broadcasted live on ESPN2. Game 115 and 116 for betting purposes. Line opened up having Miami favored by 11 points. The line has dropped to 10. Total was sitting at 56.5 when it opened. It has gone up a half a point to 57 all throughout Vegas. Some top team trends. Miami is 13-2 against the spread. Their last 15 games on the road. After a blowout, straight-up win of 20 points or more. So when Miami gets on a roll and starts blowing teams out, they cover the spread the following week. Toledo is 2-8 against the spread the last 10 games against dominant teams, outscoring opponents by more than 15 points per game. That is Toledo. That is Miami. All right, guys. Toledo is 20-5 on the under their last 25 games against efficient offenses averaging less than 13.2 yards per point. These teams faced off last September 23rd to be exact. Miami won at home 52-30, blowing them out, covering a 13.5 point line, as well as putting the game over that had a total of 60.5 points last year. The total for this year is, as of right now, 3.5 points lower than where it was last year at game time. All right, the Hurricanes came back from a season-starting disaster loss against LSU by smashing a very weak Savannah State 77-0 last week. I'm actually pretty surprised the Miami coach allowed them to rack up 77 points and not let up. But it was probably good for the Miami offense to be able to put a bunch of points on the board after getting beat and dominated by LSU in Week 1. Miami quarterback Malik Rozier had a great bounce-back game last week. Absolutely had a great game. Toledo is sitting 1-0 after beating Virginia Military last week, 66-3, with a combined 603 total yards on offense. One thing to note, Miami is 0-4 in their last 4 games against the spread on the road. Hot diggity dog. Cincinnati's taking advantage. I don't have a lean on the Miami total game because I have a free play on it at the end of the college football segment, which is coming up shortly. Now, if you guys are just tuning in live and you're watching this program, I've already said this before, but people that are just jumping on board, if you're watching this on another platform other than YouTube, you're watching this on our website, cappersdirect.com. If you're watching this on live stream, Periscope, Twitter, or the other 15 games, or 15 websites that we've got this going on right now, please do come over to YouTube. That way you can participate in the interactive chat. The more people that chat, the less I have to see Daniel's comments. So, please do come over to YouTube, start chatting up a storm. That way, we make it more fun. When you guys participate in the interactive chat, it makes it more fun. All right, guys? So please do come over to youtube.com, click in the search, Cappers Nation Live. Our video will pop up, or just go to our YouTube channel, type in Cappers Direct. It'll show that we're live. And you, too, can participate. All right, guys? So stick around for that free play between Miami and Toledo. We've got that coming up. Continuing on Saturday, game 127 and 128. Oklahoma facing off against Iowa State in Iowa. 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 Pacific. It'll be aired on ABC, guys. Game 1, 27-128. Line opened up, had Oklahoma favored by 19. That line has now dropped to 17.5. Over and under is set at 57.5. When it opened, that line has now dropped to 55. Brian, we're going to get to that comment in just a second. Some top team trends between Oklahoma and Iowa State. Iowa State is 10-2 against the spread the last 3 years against big play passing teams, averaging more than 8.3 yards per attempt. Russ, is that a final score between Boston College? Yeah, you just said it. Boston College wins 41-34. Oklahoma is 2-8 against the spread their last 10 games on the road against an opportunistic team with a turnover differential of worse than 0.7 turnovers per game. Worse than negative 0.7 turnovers per game. Oklahoma needs to make sure they don't lead in the turnover department. That won't be good for them. Oklahoma is also 12-3 on the over their last 15 games against anemic passing teams averaging less than 5.7 yards per attempt. Robbie, we're going to get to that game in just a couple games. It is on the list. I just double-checked. All right? Last year, October 7th, Oklahoma lost 38-31 in Oklahoma. Oklahoma was laying 30, and they lost at home by a touchdown. Oh, Oklahoma did lose at home. Hey, Robbie, do me a favor. Either watch the live version or the archive version of this live show, or send me a text message or an email, and I'll send you what I have for the breakdown of the Auburn game, because you've been patiently waiting, and that's a couple down the road. The Sooners do not appear to be missing the Heisman Trophy winner Baker Mayfield much this year. Quarterback Kyler Murray, he's been as good as advertised so far. Leading rusher Rodney Anderson's season-ending knee injury is going to pose a new challenge. The Cyclones are reeling from a 13-3 loss at Iowa, which happened to be our guaranteed Saturday play last week. We took Iowa, and they pulled it off, beating Iowa State last week. And they're going to be without injured quarterback Kyle Kemp. All right, there's not much reason to believe that there's going to be another upset this year. I don't believe it. I don't expect it. I don't see it happening at all. However, line at 17.5. No official play or lean on the side of that game yet, but if you ask me Saturday morning, I'll probably have one for you. But if I had to take a lean on that game, I would take the over. The over 55, but I'd be betting it later because it's continuing to drop. I'd monitor it. Nelson, we've got plays on both the side and the total. We gave out the over as a premium play as one of our top-rated games of the day. We also gave out the Diamondbacks, but that was a scratch due to Buchholz not starting. Whenever we give out baseball, unless it's a system play, it's always listed pitchers. That's common sense to everybody. Vanderbilt, Notre Dame, game 137 and 138. Saturday, 2:30 in the afternoon on the East Coast. Going to be airing live on NBC. Notre Dame opened up at 14-point favorite, a 2-touchdown favorite, guys. They are still sitting at 2 touchdowns. Line has not moved. Over and under opened up at 52. It's still sitting at 52. Top team trends between Vanderbilt and Notre Dame. Vanderbilt is 13-2 against the spread the last 15 games on the road against shutdown passing defenses yielding less than 5.9 yards per attempt. All right, guys, pay attention to that one. Notre Dame is just 2-8 against the spread. Their last 10 games as an AP top 10. Yes, Daniel, we're by the airport, the Las Vegas airport. It's literally right down Eastern to Sunset, hang a left, it's right there. And the airplanes actually fly over our building. Vanderbilt is 13-2 on the under their last 15 games on the road against a good team with 60% or better winning percentage. Princess Chachu is paying attention to some of these top team trends. Good call on that one. It's not going to be where we're leaning, but if you ask me Saturday, I might be. Might even have a play on it. Notre Dame's got their third game at home of the season. This could be their third straight game at home. Notre Dame had an ugly win last week. They won 24-16 as a 34-point favorite. Vanderbilt, who picked up wins over Middle Tennessee and Nevada, they've showed signs of a little promise this year. Vanderbilt quarterback Kyle Schumer, he's played well, but he's going to have a much tougher time against the Notre Dame pass rush. He showed promise, but he's going to have a much tougher time against Notre Dame. The Notre Dame offense has yet to establish an elite run program like they had last year. The line is set at 14. If I was leaning towards one way or another, as of right now, I would take Notre Dame minus 14. Andrew C., I have not given away college football free play yet. It is coming up in the program very shortly. Sorry, reading comments. I get sidetracked so much by reading your guys' comments. No, Andrew, the free play was not Oregon or over San Jose State. We haven't given away the free college football free play yet. Next game on the board, game 153 and 154, LSU and Auburn. Jordan-Hare Stadium. Boy, Daniel's on a roll tonight. I might just put him in timeout so I can stop reading his comments. But then I'd be like the other sports services that have YouTube channels, and if you post something negative, they just block you. We don't like to do that here. Game 153, 154, LSU facing off against Auburn. Auburn opened up as a 10-point favorite. Here in Vegas, that line is still at 10. The over and under opened up at 44.5, where it still sits currently. Nothing's changed. LSU is 2-0 straight up. And 1-1 against the spread. Auburn is 2-0 straight up. They're also 1-1 against the spread so far this year. Some top team trends between Auburn and LSU. Auburn is 7-0 against the spread their last 7 games at home against a lower-ranked team. LSU is 1-7-1 against the spread their last 9 games on the road versus Auburn. LSU is also 13-2 on the under their last 15 games against decent rushing teams averaging more than 4.4 yards per carry. Last year, October 14th, LSU won at home 27-23. The last 2 years, these teams have faced each other. The games have been decided by 4 and 5 points, with each team winning at home. The home team has won the last 5 meetings that they've had. Auburn opened with a very narrow win over Washington, and LSU was more impressive in its victory over Miami in week 1. 100% revenge game for Auburn. They blew a 20-point lead last year. So I look for Auburn to have revenge on their mind. Is it going to play into what they're doing? Is it going to play into how they play? We're going to see. LSU has not won in Alabama against Auburn since 2012. Auburn's advantage at the quarterback position, and it has one of the strongest home field advantages in college football. Jarrett Stidham of Auburn, Joe Burrow of LSU, they're both off to a great start this year in both of their positions. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a close game, just like the last 2 years. Last year was decided by 4 points. The year before that was decided by 5 points. Auburn absolutely dominates when you look at the stats. Offense, defense, rushing, passing. Dominate on offense, averaging 288 rush yards per game to LSU's 170. 205 yards in the air to LSU's 145. Despite all of that, I do believe, I don't know if LSU wins outright, but I do believe they make it a close, contested game all the way to the end. And if I had to take a lean right now, I would take LSU plus the points. So if I had to take a team right now, I'd take LSU plus the points. But if you want more of an official free play or something like that, you're going to have to wait to Saturday. Saturday morning, Game Day Live. Not a fan of LSU's head coach, but they got a good program. They've always had a good program. Now, who's ready for a college football free play for Saturday, an early one? An early, easy winner. Game 115, 116. We already broke this game down. Miami versus Toledo. Line opened up. Miami favored by 11. Line sitting at 10, and it dropped. All right, guys. Line opened up at 56.5. It's gone up to 57 for the total. All right, your free play, we've already broken down this game. If you want to know more in depth, just give us an email, cd@cappersdirect.com. Your free play, Miami minus the 10. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. The Hurricanes lay to 10 points. If somebody wants to post that in the comments, you guys can. That way, everybody who's tuning in will have a chance to see it. All right, who's ready for some NFL football? We know we got the game going on. Hopefully that game goes over. Oh, 21-0. Great free play we gave out, right? Not. I got to tell you, we give out a lot of consensus plays, and that's the shitty thing, is the consensus plays will go 3-1, 4-1, and we pick one of them to be our free play. And lately, it just so happens that the free plays haven't been winning. So it sucks when you're on the consensus plays, they go 3-1 or 4-1 or hell even 3-2, and the only one we put out is the damn loser. So it does suck, and we do feel for you guys, and we do try and put out the best consensus play that we have for the day. But we'll start picking the right one. I promise you that much. All right. Week 3 in the NFL is brought to you by my buddies over at Cappers Direct. So, watch this quick little 30-second video, and then we've got some more great money-making information for you guys. Alrighty, NFL Week 3. NFL Week 2. NFL Week 2 is here. Alright, guys. Some quick updating news. So, when you guys are betting, or maybe you play fantasy sports, some of this information may be important to you. Jacksonville Jaguars running back Leonard Fournette was announced earlier today. He will be a game-time decision on Sunday in their AFC Championship rematch game with Tom Brady and the Patriots due to his hamstring injury that he sustained last week. All right, guys? Here's a very important one for everybody that wants to bet the Vikings and Green Bay. That line is off the board currently, and we're going to explain that here. Packers coach Mike McCarthy said he insists Aaron Rodgers will start and play against the Vikings on Sunday. However, we've been hearing the opposite from industry insiders as well as odds makers here in Vegas. John Murray over at the Westgate. What's his name over at the Golden Nugget? I forget his name. It'll come back to me. They've all came out and said Aaron Rodgers is not playing. You got to remember, Vegas is seldom wrong. And there's a reason why they pulled that game off the board. That game is off the board for betting. Reading comments. That game is off the board for betting until it is announced who will be the starting quarterback for Green Bay. That line opened up as a pick'em and -1 favoring the Vikings. Then they took it off the board. However, for the Westgate's Super Contest, which is the biggest NFL sports betting contest, $1,500 entry fee, they have to put out a line on Wednesday for all the contestants. They set that line at Green Bay -7. Which, more than likely, will be the opening line come Saturday for the Green Bay game. We'll have the Vikings -7. Green Bay getting 7. It has been rumored, and some very, very, very high-up industry people here in Las Vegas, and I know there's other services out there that want to claim that there's no inside information, that the people in Vegas don't know what they're talking about. But I assure you, the odds makers do. They're all saying that Aaron Rodgers will not be playing on Sunday. So, next up, Le'Veon Bell. He's not playing week 2. And to be honest, based on the rumors that we've heard today from some industry insiders that are on the ground level, on the corporate sides, not on the playing side, that you may not see Le'Veon Bell in a Steelers uniform again. The Steelers are being reported to have starting to engage in talks to trade Le'Veon Bell. He's not planning on coming back anytime soon. He's going to forfeit another $850,000+ this week, and they're looking to get rid of him and get something in return because they know he's not playing next season, let alone much of anything this year, with the exception of 6 games, if at all. Des Bryant was seen enjoying a Beyonce concert with none other than Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. It's no secret that Dallas sucks, and he could definitely use Des Bryant's help. Next up, Josh Allen. He's going to start his first NFL game Sunday against the Chargers, replacing Nathan Peterman. Why Nathan Peterman got the start in Week 1, I think it was just because Allen was not ready, and they weren't ready for him to get murdered yet. Nathan Peterman should not be in the NFL. Crazy, but he's probably not even qualified enough, skilled enough, talented enough to be a backup on 25 other teams. Yet here he is starting Week 1. And you guys saw what happened last week with him at the helm. So good luck to Josh Allen. I wish you well. Supposedly, LaShawn McCoy has took it upon himself to make sure the offensive line protects the kid. Daniel, that's probably why Nathan Peterman sucks. He went to Tennessee. Raiders re-signed Martavius Bryant after cutting him a few weeks ago after an ongoing police investigation in hopes of bringing him back and putting a spark in their passing game. John Gruden did come out and say that after looking at tape, Cooper was open, downfield, once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, many times, and they just never got the ball to him. And that was more complicated than it was easy. Now, who's ready for some NFL football? Let's look at some Major League Baseball score updates. Ravens are in the red zone. I will probably jinx them since they were our free play for the day. However, we could definitely use some points for the over, as that was one of our premium plays. Oakland is currently losing to the Orioles, who is numero uno on our fade list. However, it is top of the 8th. They got runners on first and second with no outs. The Red Sox are beating Toronto's 3-2, top of the 8th, so hopefully you guys did not bet the run line on that one. Dodgers beating St. Louis 8-4. Twins beating Kansas City 2-0. The Diamondbacks got murdered by the Rockies 10-3. The Mets won both games against the Miami Marlins 4-3 and 5-2. And the Cubs nudged out the Nationals 4-3 in 10 innings. And I know Brian was on that one because he said that earlier. Alrighty, so that's score updates. NFL score update. 21-0 Cincinnati leads Baltimore in the red zone. 3rd and 5 on the Cincinnati 8. And I'm going to guess they probably screwed up. I wouldn't doubt it. Alrighty, let's jump right in the NFL, guys. Let's get this NFL program going. It is now 6:20 here in Las Vegas. I know it's getting late on the East Coast. Game 263. Carolina Panthers, Atlanta Falcons. Mercedes-Benz Dome. in Atlanta, Georgia. 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. Line opened up, had Atlanta favored by 5. It has now moved to 6. Atlanta is now laying 6. Matt Ryan and the Falcons are now laying 6. The over and under is set at 44. It is still sitting at 44. Carolina is 1-0 straight up, 1-0 against the spread. Atlanta lost last week. They're 0-1 straight up, and they are 0-1 against the spread. Some top team trends. Atlanta is 12-3. Their last 15 games at home in September. Carolina is just 2-8 against the spread. Their last 10 games on the road against an opponent, against starting quarterback Matt Ryan. So when they've got Matt Ryan on the road, they're 2-8. Hey! Baltimore scored. There is hope after all. Last year, they played each other twice. Let's talk about the most recent game they played. New Year's Eve. December 31st of last year. Atlanta won at home 22-10, covering the 4.5 points they were laying, and that game went under the total, which was 44.5, which is total this year. This game is sitting at 44, so total's about the same. Earlier in the year, in November, beginning of November, Carolina won 20-17 at home, covering as a 3-point dog, obviously. They were getting 3 and they won at home. And that game went under the total of 42 as well. However, Atlanta has won 3 out of their last 4 games they've played, but they split out last year's games. They both won a game last year. Years prior to that, Atlanta won both. Head-to-head home team trends. Home teams are 14-6 straight up and 15-5 against the spread in the last 20 Carolina, Atlanta head-to-head series. Well, Daniel, I know you care about the over because you're betting it. We care about Baltimore winning as well as the over. Obviously, the over is more important because that's a big premium play. And if you're betting the over, it's looking good so far. See what happens in that game. Now, Carolina took care of business in week 1 against Dallas. Everybody knows Dallas sucks. Hopefully you guys aren't a Cowboys fan. And if you are, I do apologize. Atlanta, they've got a much superior offense. Everybody knows what happened last week with Atlanta, guys. The Atlanta offense, as far as talent goes, is a much greater talent on offense. However, the offensive play calling of the Falcons and Matt Ryan is always under heavy scrutiny. Are we ever going to see the Matt Ryan of 2016 again? I don't think so. He's going to have his games. He's going to have his moments. He's going to have the times where he shines. And this may be the week that he shines. But I really don't think we're ever going to see the Matt Ryan of 2016 again. I really don't. Carolina has one of the NFL's best defensive front 7. They took full control last week against Dallas, and they should not have any issue getting to Matt Ryan and keeping him rushed all week. As Daniel just pointed out, Steve Sarkisian of Atlanta, the guy sucks. Absolutely. I hated him when he was the coach at Washington, and I cried the day they brought him to USC. And then I cried again when they fired him. This time, it was tears of joy. I am not a Steve Sarkisian fan. Absolutely not. He did great things at Washington at the college level. In the NFL, he sucks. At my USC, he sucked. And unfortunately for the Falcons, he's leading the play calling on the offense. He has his moments, but for the most part, he sucks. The quarterback matchup between Cam Newton and Matt Ryan, in my opinion, it's going to serve as one of the best quarterback matchups of Week 2. I look forward to watching that game. The Falcons' red zone blues, blunders, whatever you want to call it, they continued last week. In order for them to actually get a win this week and moving forward, they're going to have to score when they get in the red zone. If the Falcons can't score when they get in the red zone, Cam Newton and the Panthers are going to just run away with it. Sorry, reading comments. If I had to pick a side right now, I don't have a side on that game. Yet to be made. However, if I had to pick a play, a lean on that game, I would take the over. As of right now, I'm leaning towards the over. Nice little lean on the over as of right now. But if you want to know the hard facts of these games, make sure you guys tune in Sunday morning at 9 a.m. on the East Coast, 6 a.m. here in Vegas. And we will be breaking down the NFL and giving you guys more leans and more free plays on Sunday morning, live, right here. Same spot. Of course, Daniel, Sam Darnold is the best QB out of last year's draft. Come on. Everybody knows I'm a Sam Darnold fan. Not really a Jets fan, though, but I do wish him success, and I wish him well. And in 4 years, hopefully they trade him. Although I don't really have an NFL favorite team, so maybe I'll become a Jets fan, rooting for Sam Darnold. All right, next on the list, game 271 and 272, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS, game 271-272. Line had Pittsburgh opening up at -5. It has now dropped to -4.5. The total opened up at 49.5, and it has gone the opposite direction as the side, and it skyrocketed to 53 as of today. Some top team trends between Kansas City and Pittsburgh. Kansas City is 12-2-1 against the spread. Their last 15 games against a decent passing team, averaging more than 6.8 yards per attempt. Pittsburgh is just 2-8 against the spread their last 10 games at home against decent teams, outscoring opponents by more than 3 points per game. Kansas City is 10-0 on the under their last 10 games against lesser rushing defenses, yielding more than 4.4 yards per carry. Head-to-head trends in this matchup. Under the total is 6-1 in the last 7 games between Pittsburgh and Kansas City. All right, a score and a time update in the NFL game. Anybody got an update for me? You all know I'm jonesing for an update. All righty. Le'Veon Bell is out this week. If you were expecting Le'Veon Bell to play this week, you're wrong. He's forfeiting another $850-something thousand to prove his point. Rumor is he will be traded very shortly. Now, the Chiefs had a huge win last week against the Chargers, winning 38-28. The Steelers ended a disappointing Week 1 with a tie against the Browns. That tie gave everybody betting the Browns a nice little cover. If you're betting on the Browns last week, which the Sharps were, good job. James Conner had a great game last week running the ball for the Steelers. Now, he's no Le'Veon Bell, but he damn sure got the job done. And he got in the end zone. And I expect him to do the same thing against Kansas City this week. Patrick Mahomes, he's got great potential, guys. And this week, I personally think Mahomes takes a step back. Against a very tough road test, Kansas City heads to Pittsburgh. I think Mahomes is going to struggle and not put up the numbers that we saw last week against the Chargers. Kareem Hunt, he's established in the run game. If he's able to establish the run game, that would open things up for Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, through the play action, which would make him, in my opinion, be able to have a more successful outcome against the Steelers. These two teams, Kansas City and Pittsburgh, they've had close games in the past. Very close games. It makes calling the side on this game for a lane very tough. As of right now, I have no official lean on the side or the total between Kansas City and Pittsburgh. But I will come Sunday morning if you tune in live. Next on the list, game 275 and 276. Philadelphia Eagles facing off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Line opened up, had Philly -3. They are still favored by a field goal. However, they've moved the odds to -1.20. Now, the Westgate does have the Eagles favored by a field goal and a half. It's -3.5 at the Westgate, the world's largest sports book. Total opened up over and under 44 points. It's still sitting at 44 points. Philadelphia, they're 1-0 straight up, 1-0 against the spread. Tampa Bay, 1-0 straight up, 1-0 against the spread. Top team trends. Philadelphia 17-6 against the spread the last 5 years with more than 6 days rest. Tampa Bay is 2-13 against the spread the last 15 games at home against efficient offenses averaging less than 14.3 yards per point. Philadelphia is 9-1 on the over their last 10 games on the road against lesser defensive teams, allowing more than 23.5 points per game on average. Head-to-head trends. The games have gone over the posted total. Over the posted total. 4 out of the last 5 games between the Eagles and the Buccaneers. All right? Tampa Bay shocked the NFL last week. Tampa Bay was the saviors for the sports books last week. The sports books were on their way to having a disaster of a day. Except just about everybody who bet a teaser, everybody who bet a parlay, had the Saints laying the points last week. We didn't. Thank God. Tampa Bay was the savior, not for you guys, but for the books last week. They beat the Saints last week 48-40 in an absolute shootout. If Philly's going to take control of the game, they need to be running the football, and they need to keep Fitzpatrick at bay. He built confidence. He shocked me. He shocked about everybody last week. The Buccaneers will be aggressive. They are going to take shots down the field like they did last week. The Buccaneers quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he had no problem picking apart the Saints defense last week and spreading the ball. He spread the ball out to, I think, every wide out there was, including his tight end. If he is able to do that against a great Philadelphia Eagle pass rush, then the game's going to be interesting. That's if he's able to do that. If the offensive line for the Buccaneers can buy Fitzpatrick enough time, we'll see what happens. If I had an official lean on this game, I'd be taking the over 44. Over 44 in that lean. Now, I did see somebody posted. Let me scroll back up and see what it was. Somebody asked, I seen somebody asked a question about Carson Wentz. Oh, Daniel asked, if Carson Wentz comes back, does he instantly make the Eagles a better team? Sorry, the comments. When Carson Wentz comes back, he is going to start. Foles already knows that. Carson Wentz is a more dynamic playmaker. Fact. However, Nick Foles, as you guys know, gets the job done when it counts. He somehow gets the job done when it counts. So, is Carson Wentz going to make the Eagles a better team? Yes, he's a good player. Does he win more games? I guess we'll find out. Sometimes it takes players time to come back from an injury. Now, real talk. And then I say we get you guys on your way. If you guys missed the baseball free play, we did give out a baseball game earlier. Hopefully you did not miss that. If you did, that game starts in 22 minutes. Somebody just asked, what happened with Baltimore? Who, the Orioles? They're still winning 4-3. Or the Ravens. I'm not sure the Ravens made the trip to the game yet, to be honest. Daniel just says it's creepy when I stare into the camera. All right, I'll go back to talking straight. I don't like looking at you anyways, Daniel. Now, we did have a special guest lined up for today. Unfortunately, they were not able to make it today. But they will be back, or they will be on the program next week. I actually had a lot of fun. Last week we brought on Jayville, and he actually gave you guys 2-0. Daniel, you should not be looking into my eyes, but please, please, please don't. Jesus, see, now you sidetracked me. You're scaring me, guys. Oh, special guest. We actually have a lineup of guests that we've sent out to industry experts, senior NFL writers at certain networks that I cannot name, that are not tied to a sports service. I can't name them as of yet. Okay, sorry about that. We have special guests lined up for you guys. That's going to be pretty awesome. We've got some big announcements to make here in the near future. You guys might actually see our program being filmed live, just like this. It may not have this. We may be on one of the podiums in the casino. We actually have one of the casinos going to be... We're in talks for one of the casinos to promote it. I can't name which one it is because then... So, the competition don't try and steal our thunder. Daniel, I got you on block during the show, buddy, so it's on Do Not Disturb. So if you text it, it don't even show up until I take it off. You're on mute. I should have muted you here a long time ago. The ADD, yeah, I can't talk and read the comments at the same time. The free play between the Mariners and the Angels was the over. Over 9. Over 9 runs. All right, now that we gave away we gave away free plays and people are dropping like rocks. I think we hit 3K and then it was like 2,900, 28, 25, 24. Now we're down below 2 and they're dropping off like I won't even say it. They're just dropping off. But anyways, we've got some great things in the works, guys, for the show. It's only going to get better this week. I don't know. It's been a long day. Next week's show is going to be off the hook. Next week's show, we're actually scheduled for next week to have multiple guests. We may have somebody coming in live if they can. They're supposed to be flying out here. If they're not, then we'll bring them on through the live chat program, just like we did last week with Jayville. Who wants to see Jayville back on the show as well? I know actually my email got blown up beginning of the week asking if Jayville was going to be back on the show this week. So we'll reach out to him, we'll send him a message, and we'll see if we can get him back on the show as well, if you guys want him. He did give you guys 2-0, college and pro. Yes, as Hootie by Night said, take the over and just the over. That NFL game, did it hit halftime yet, guys? Do I watch boxing or MMA? Absolutely I do. T-Mobile Center, Canelo, Triple G. I did see a nice line. Canelo was plus 130 on the money line. And from what I heard, Canelo is actually a lot smaller this time around. Might have to do with those performance-enhancing medications he was busted taking. I'm going to bet the game, or bet the fight. Absolutely. I did watch it. I did watch their first one. And I'm not no expert boxing scorer, but I think Triple G got robbed last year. And based off of what I've heard from some people that have seen Canelo in Vegas, in the casinos, already this week, and his size being down, I do think it's going to affect his power. Although lighter should be faster. Do I think we're going to see a knockout? No, I don't. But I'd like to see Canelo get his ass knocked down. Do I think we're going to see a knockout? No, I don't. I'm leaning towards betting Triple G as of right now. And yes, he is getting older. I'm leaning towards making a bet on him and a nice bet. But I'm going to wait and see what I keep hearing. I keep hearing some more things. And if you guys ask me Saturday on the college football show, I'll let you know who I'm betting. But as of right now, if I was forced to bet right this second, I would not. I'd be betting against Canelo in this one as of right now. Russ, that's not what I wanted to hear for an update that Flacco goes for it on 4th down and he blows it. That is not what I wanted to hear. Jay just asked a good question, but Jay, you got to give me a little more description. It says, Kyle, per 1,000 in our bankroll, what is your recommended wager amount per game? Now, Jay, is that 1,000 total in your bankroll? Is that what you're asking? That you've got $1,000 in your bankroll and you want to know what should you be betting per game? I'll wait to answer that one until you post exactly more in detail. If you meant that you have $1,000 in your total bankroll, or what, then I'll be able to properly answer it. But don't forget, guys, Cappers Direct has a new client special going on. If you've never bet our premium plays or our system plays, they have a 1-week special going on that you get 1 week of our premium plays, 1 week of our system plays. You get 7 full days of access to the best games that we offer for just $299. It's a $1,600 package for both of them. $1,000 a week for our premium plays, $600 a week for our system plays. You get both of them as a 7-day trial for just $299. It's a one-time charge. The only way to get that new client special is to call in. You have to call us 888-561-8923. So you have $8,000 in your bankroll. Everybody has a different opinion on what you should bet for bankroll. It doesn't matter if you ask me, you ask Stu Feiner, Mark Lawrence, Jim Feist, Kenny White. You're going to get many different opinions. It's one thing that we specialize in is bankroll management. I like to think that we're pretty good. I know our clients that have gotten our help for bankroll management have turned their betting around to being more successful. But as far as picking how much you should bet per game, it's all relative to what your financial situation is, how big your bankroll is, and if you have a smaller bankroll, let's just say you have a $1,000 bankroll or $2,000 bankroll, if you were to lose that bankroll, can you reload? Because you have to remember, it doesn't matter how good your games are, you're still going to have a losing streak. You're still going to have a losing month. Nobody's going to win 52 weeks out of the year. Nobody's going to win 12 straight months out of the year. Anybody who ever tells you that they do, they're lying to you guys straight up, okay? They're absolutely lying to you guys straight up. Now, as far as what to bet for your bankroll, without knowing what your financial situation is and what you like to bet, etc., it's hard to give an honest, real answer as far as like a percentage goes. I don't base mine off of a percentage. I don't base my clients when they ask me for help off a percentage. I take everything on a case-by-case basis. But if you've got an $8,000 bankroll, and it all depends on what type of games you're playing. If you're betting, let's just say, our smaller games, our consensus plays, I'd say you should be betting a $50, $100, $150 max on our consensus plays. If you're betting our premium plays, you can get away with betting $500 to $750 a game with that type of bankroll. If you're betting our system plays are a whole nother beast. They're 66-3. Okay? System plays are 66-3. But the thing with the system plays is you have to be able to double up a bet to cover the day before. So I always start everybody lower. If your normal bet is 500, or let's just say your max bet is 1,000, I start everybody usually around 250 to 300, depending on what their max is capable of betting. So it's hard to say what exactly everybody should bet based on their bankroll. I'm not going to give everybody a percentage. You should bet 2%, 1%, 5%, 10%, 20%. My percentages are probably a lot higher than most. So, but if you want a more in-depth breakdown, feel free to call the office, guys. Ask for me, or Jay, or John. Hell, Jeff's super good with bankroll management. But if you call in, ask for me, and you want to explain more in depth about what you do, what you bet, what your situation looks like, I'll be more than happy to help. Even if you guys aren't our clients, I'll be more than happy to help each and every one of you. All right? So, now that we're talking about the boring stuff, hopefully that Baltimore game turns around second half. But, guys, make sure you guys check us out on the web, cappersdirect.com. And make sure you guys tune in Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 on the West Coast. Man, it is early on the West Coast. Cappers Nation Game Day Live. We'll be breaking down all things college football on Saturday and all things NFL on Sunday. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. We couldn't do it without you guys. Thanks to all our sponsors, cappersdirect.com, rcpicks.com, 100unitpicks.com, Papa Dan's Beef Jerky, our haters, our number one haters out there, and our number two haters, obviously everybody that hates us. We do thank you. Keep sending us your clients. We do greatly appreciate it, and we keep treating them very well. So with that being said, guys, good luck to everybody that's betting that the over in the Mariners free play. Let's make some money on that. Tune in for another video later tonight for college football tomorrow. We've got a free play coming up for you guys. We're going to go finish breaking down that game when we get done getting live, or when we're done live. All right, guys? So thank you for everybody for tuning in. Any questions, as always, send us an email. You can send me one personally, Kyle@cappersdirect.com, or you can send it to the company, cd@cappersdirect.com, or give us a call, 888-561-8923. If you guys want a good laugh, here's that commercial one more time for you guys.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the thrill of victory? Are you ready to taste victory? Are you ready to take your sports betting to a whole new level? Sit up, put your feet on the floor, because we have work to do. Welcome to the grind. Welcome to Cappers Nation, your weekly all things sports betting show. Tune in live every Thursday at 8 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Let us make you a more successful sports bettor. Are you ready? Are you ready for the thrill of victory? Are you ready to taste victory? Are you ready to take your sports betting to a whole new level? Sit up, put your feet on the floor, because we have work to do. Welcome to the grind. Welcome to Cappers Nation, your weekly all things sports betting show. Tune in live every Thursday at 8 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Let us make you a more successful sports bettor.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Daniel, Hootie by Night, everybody else that tuned in live.